What's up, little pickler? Do you ever have trouble remembering all the spawn peaks in Rainbow Six Siege? Well, now you won't have to remember, because in this video, I'll show you spawn peak for every attacker spawn on every ranked map in Siege. This video is definitely going to run long, but worry not. I'll be making chapters on this video for every map and spawn. That way you can use this video for whatever map your teammates force you into. And eventually, after you try these spawn peaks for yourself, you will be able to remember them on your own without this video. But for now, let me show you some easy and hidden spawn peaks that attackers from any spawn will never see coming. Real quick, before we get into the first map, if any of these spawn peaks get you a kill, please come back to this video and leave a like. Or subscribe if you want to see more content about improving in Siege and other FPS games. I also do Siege coaching for $10, so that will be at the top of the description if you're interested. Now, let's head into the first map. Alrighty, picklers, so the first spawn peak we're going to be taking a look at is one that looks at the construction spawn. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to make a decoy hole at the bottom of this barricade. And then if you have enough time, you're going to want to come over here and make another decoy hole at crouch high in this door. Then you're going to be able to kill any attackers pushing from construction spawn. So for the next peak, picklers, you're going to want to come into master bedroom. And then you're going to start out by making a hole at head level in this barricade. Then what we're going to do is we're going to shoot out a small hole in the bottom right of this barricade. Then all you have to do is aim a little bit above the hood of this van. And attackers spawning in the street should run right into your reticle. Alright, so this next spawn peak will also be useful for anyone spawning on the street. This time we're going to wait for them to mount on top of the car that's right here. So the first thing you're going to do before the round starts is you're going to want to shoot out a little hole at the bottom of this barricade to be able to listen for when they fall on top of the car. And the vault will sound something like this. Then all you have to do is just... Alright, so this next spawn peak is going to take place at the bottom of a small tower, and it's going to be cutting off people who spawn at the junkyard. So what you're going to do is before the round starts, you're going to tear off this barricade on this door. Then what you're going to do is around 5 seconds into the round, so at around 2:55, you're going to run out this door, look to the right, and aim right around this vent. Which then you'll most likely see an attacker pushing around this corner at around that timestamp. The next map we're going to be taking a look at, picklers, is going to be Clubhouse. Okay, so for the first spawn peak on Clubhouse, what you're going to do is you're going to come to the gym that's next to the master bedroom site. Then, what you're going to do before the round starts, you're going to want to tear off the barricade. Then the next step is to look for a vault while standing next to this weight rack. Then, once you find the vault prompt, you're going to head on top of this, lean to the left, and you're going to walk back a few steps. Then, all you have to do is aim to the left of this gate, and attacker should walk by. Alright, for the next spawn peak, picklers, what you're going to do is you're going to come down into the billiards room. Alright, so for the next peak, picklers, what you're going to do is come down to the pool table room that's next to the main bar. Then you're going to vault on top of the pool table, and you're going to make a little head hole right in the top of the barricade like this. Make sure you're able to see the police text on the van. That way you'll know that this barricade's wide enough to see their heads. Then all you have to do is aim like this at the back of the van, and attackers should end up pushing into it. Alright, so for the next peak, picklers, all you're going to need to do is break open a little hole at the bottom of the CCTV window. Then all you're going to do is aim at the top of this roof for when attackers rappel up. Alright, so for the last spawn peak on this map, what you're going to need to do, picklers, is you're going to need some kind of explosive or oryx charge to be able to make a hole in this wall that's big enough to walk through. Then you're going to wait around 2 seconds to the start of the round, and you're going to hop out, and you're going to aim to the right of this brick pillar. There, you should see any attackers pushing out. And if you end up peeking this pillar and you don't see any attackers coming through, you're going to want to run back in to reset your timer, then hop back out and look for anyone who's trying to push dirt. Alright, so the next map we're going to be taking a look at, picklers, is Lair. So for the first spawn peak, you're going to want to come into the operational room. This is going to be right next to the big room that has the big hallway on the second story. And what you're going to do is you're going to come to this table that has a big white staticky TV on it. You're going to stand on top of it. Then you're going to want to make a hole in the barricade right around the top middle of the X. Our goal is to be aiming at the back of this van. Then attackers who spawn at the gate will end up running right past the corner of this van. Alright, so the next spawn peak is going to take place at this door inside bunk corridor. Before the round starts, you're going to want to tear off this, and then line yourself up so that you're not fully exposed, but you're able to see this double door right here. Then attackers will come walking through this door, you can easily get a free kill. Attackers can also come from further to the left through that cave entrance, so run out if you need to. Alright, so the next spawn peak is going to take place down here in the basement, and we're going to be cutting off the dock spawn. So at this soft wall next to the orange traffic cone, so what you're going to do is in the very middle of this wall, you're going to want to make a small kill hole that you melee out. Then you're going to aim to the right of this blue crate, which is a common point where attackers will push from. And I highly advise against using this spawn peak if you're defending the basement, as you're most likely going to want to reinforce this wall instead of peeking through it. Alright guys, so for the last spawn peak on this map, you're going to come to the sky bridge, and then you're going to come to this door that's right in front of the shooting range and go prone. Then all you have to do is shoot at a little peek hole at the bottom of this barricade, and enemies will come right around that corner. Alrighty guys, next up we have Nighthaven Labs. Not everyone's favorite, but nonetheless there's some pretty nasty spawn peaks on this map. Alright, so in warehouse below the command center site, what you're going to want to do is make some holes in the top of this softwell just like this. Alright, so you're going to run up to the rafters, and then standing right next to this half wall, you're going to vault over this, and you should land right on top of the blue boxes. Then all you have to do is get on top of these big boxes, vault, and you're going to aim to the left of this yellow railing just like this. And the attackers should walk in just like that. Alright, so this next spawn peak is going to be great if you're defending servers and CC room. What you're going to do is you're going to want to make a hole right on this blue text slash block right here. Then we're going to mount on top of this plant and slow walk till the right until we see the very beginning of this pillar right here. Then all you have to do is wait for an attacker to push up the stairs and walk into your reticle. Alright, so for the next spawn peak, we're going to be coming again down to the bottom of the warehouse. We're going to walk into the control room hallway. And then right at this blue and green crate, we're going to make a little hole in the bottom of this barricade like this. Then you're going to want to position yourself behind these crates and lean and watch right here, and it will be right below a default cam. Then all I have to do is hold this angle, and any attackers pushing this way from generator spawn should walk into your reticle. And the spawn peak is great to give a try if you're defending CC or servers, because if you don't see anyone at this angle or you get peeled off, you can always rotate back into warehouse and make it back to site. Alright, so the last spawn peak on this map isn't really a spawn peak, it's going to be a C4 throw instead. But there is also a potential run out after you do the C4 throw. So first I'm going to show you the C4 throw. Before the start of the round, what you're going to do is tear down this window barricade. Then all you need to do is line the C4 a little bit below this fixture right here. So with your dot reticle, aim a little bit below it. And then all I have to do is give it a toss. At around minute 2:45 into the round, it should kill anyone at the bottom of the stairs. Then whether you get a kill or you don't get a kill, what you should do is around 20 or 30 seconds later in the round, rotate into meeting right here. And then make a little hole right here to peel them off. From this window, you can also do a run out. What you do is you hop out, run to this plant right here, and then start pre-fire down there. Okay, Picklers, the next map we're going to be taking a look at is Emerald Plains. Alright, so the first spawn peak in Emerald Plains I'm going to be showing you is in the administration slash CEO office site. What you're going to do is you're going to walk in this little closet room that has a soft wall. Then what you're going to do, you're either going to melee a hole about here or shoot it out like I am. And then what you're going to do, you're going to aim to the right of the smokestack right between these gates. And then pretty much attackers have a chance of walking through this gate that I'm aiming at. Alright, so for the next spawn peak on Emerald Plains, you're going to want to come down to the kitchen. Right next to it is the dining site. So all you're going to do, you're going to go into the pantry right here. You're going to vault on top of this little kitchen counter. And then you're going to want to make a hole about here. Then all I have to do, look through this little window, this truck right here, and that doorway that you can see through the window is where attackers will push from. It is kind of a narrow angle, so you're going to want to pre-fire around 4 seconds into the round. Alright, so the next spawn peak we're going to be taking a look at is a spawn peak that lets you see into the stables. So what you're going to do before the round starts, you're going to want to get rid of this barricade about 2 seconds before the round starts. Once it gets to 3 seconds in the round, you're going to run out and pre-fire right between this haystack and this stone wall. So about right here, which is going to look something like this. Alright, so the last spawn peak I'm going to show you is going to be in the main lobby. This room is right below the first spawn peak that I showed you. And all you're going to do this, you're going to go prone on this door. And you're going to want to make a little hole just like that so you can see underneath the truck. I'm even going to open it up on both sides. That way, you'll know which side of the truck they're pushing. So if they're coming to your right, you'll be able to see their feet right there. And if they go to the left of the fountain, it's going to look something like this. See, I can see his feet underneath the car. Then all you do after you hear them and see them, you're just going to cut off their feet. Alright, so next up, we're going to be going on a bank. Alright, so for the first spawn peak on bank, you're going to come to the top square. Then on this window to the very far right, all you're going to do, you're going to make a hole in the very bottom and also shoot off a little bit of the middle. Then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to aim a little below to the left of this weird thing on the wall. And then attackers should run into your reticle from jewelry front spawn. Alright, so for this next spawn peak, we're going to be stopping attackers who spawn in alley access and try to take top square. So what you're going to do, you're going to come to stock, and then you're going to break a hole in the very bottom of the barricade, just like this. Then you're going to listen for when attackers begin rappelling on the wall that we're looking at. And right there, you can see what the top of the rappel looks like. So if you just look at the hook at where they're going to rappel up to, then it's a pretty free mount kill while they're hopping up. Alright, so the next spawn we're going to be peeking is the parking front spawn. The only way to actually spawn peek this spawn is to run out the main lobby door. So what we're going to do before the round starts, we're going to get rid of this barricade. Then at around 5 seconds of the round, you're going to run out and you're going to aim between these pillars like this. And right around this time stat, attacker should be running out for a free kill. Alright, so for the last spawn peak on this map, we're going to be cutting off attackers who spawn on jewelry front and try to push main lobby. What you're going to do is you're going to walk up to the second pillar from the door like this. Then, once you're standing next to the pillar, you're going to aim at the lower part of this window. Then, once you're at this pillar, you're going to aim a little below half on this window. This spawn peak is going to be actually really hard for any attackers to see you before you shoot them. Alrighty, next up we got border. So this spawn peak is going to be great if you're defending armory and archives. So first, before we go to the actual spawn peak, you're going to want to make a decoy hole in the east stairs window and in the break room door before the round starts. Then you're going to want to go downstairs and head into passport check. Finally, the last step is to make a hole in the top of the barricade, and then you're going to want to aim a bit to the left of this gray box right here. Then any attackers going to push break room or take east stairs should be a free kill. Alright, so next we're going to be peeking the east vehicle entrance. To start out, you're going to want to break the barricade on archives window before the round starts. Then, after about 2 seconds into the round, you're going to hop out, look to the right, and aim between this white truck and this rusted truck. And if your timing's right, you should catch a clueless attacker. So next, we're going to be stopping a common push that comes through Valley, and then people who push through the soft wall into detention. Before the round starts, you're going to want to prep this barricade to be vaulted. Then, as the round starts, you're going to want to be on the parking lot entry cam to see if anyone's pushing from Valley to this soft wall right here. Then, once you see your opponent coming to this soft wall, you're going to hop off the cam, vault through this barricade, look to the left, and then free kill. And I'd highly recommend trying this if your enemy has pushed through the tension in a previous round. Alright, so for our last spawn peak on border, we're going to be stopping any attackers that push through the main door in west main. So before the round starts, you're going to want to come into ventilation room and prep the barricade right here to be vaulted through. Then you're going to want to be on the parking lot alley cam as the round starts to see any attackers coming to west main. Once they run past the soft fall into detention, you're going to hop out this window and try to go over here and peek to the left as fast as you can. Alrighty guys, the next map I got for you is going to be Coastline. Alright, so for the first spawn peek, we're going to be peeking the poolside spawn. What you're going to do is you're going to come into hookah lounge, and then you're going to want to break a hole in the barricade at the bottom of the hookah window. Next, all you have to do is aim below this brown canopy thing, and you should be able to see attackers' feet right below here. So you'll be able to see their feet before they're able to see you peeking them. And this is going to be a great spawn peek to use if you're defending kitchen and service. Alright, so for this next spawn peek, we're going to be peeking the ruin spawn. You're going to want to come down in the sunrise bar and then break a small hole in the bottom right corner of this barricade. You're also going to need to break the glass to be able to see the angle that we're peeking. Then you're going to want to aim above this little stone wall right here. And if you put your reticle right around here, attackers should be walking directly into it. Alright, so next up I got another spawn peek for ruins for you guys. So you're going to want to come into office. Then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to break a hole in the top left of this X. So right around here. Then you're going to come to this shelf that has a pot with yellow stripes on it. And you're going to want to melee a hole out in this little shelf wall like this. Then you should be able to see the beginning of the stone wall right here. And if you aim about here, attackers will be walking basically directly into your reticle. Alright, so this last spawn peek's pretty well known, but nonetheless I'm still going to include it. So you're going to want to come to the window that's next to the white stairs. Then you're going to want to break a hole in this barricade around the bottom right of the X without breaking the glass. Next, all you have to do is aim to the right of this brown truck right here, and you'll be able to see attackers' feet before they're able to peek you. Alright, so the next map we're going to look at is Consulate. This map has a lot of different spawns for attackers, but I'm going to be showing you a peek for most of their spawns. Okay, so to start out, you're going to come into administration office. Then you're going to want to come to this window that's next to a blue flag with some yellow stars on it. Then we're going to want to make a hole across the bottom of the barricade. And it doesn't matter if you break the glass, because I'm pretty sure the glass blocks this angle. Then you're going to aim at this building with a blocked off door, right at this gated off window like this. Now attackers that are going to push Visa should walk near your reticle. Alright, so for the next spawn peek, we're going to be going back to administration office, but this time we're going to be peeking the police line spawn, which is basically right in front of the building. So you're going to walk up to this window that's next to two white filing cabinets and a plant. And this time we're going to make a hole again in the bottom of the barricade, trying to not break the glass. Then right between this stone wall and the back of this police car, you're going to want to aim a little bit up, and any attackers going to push the main lobby should walk near your reticle. Alright, so next to piano room, you're going to want to come into the closet. Then you're going to want to prep this barricade to be vaulted through at the start of the round. Then as the round starts, you're going to want to be on the fountain cam to look for any attackers that are either pushing here or going down the slope to garage. Then once attackers shoot the cam and you know where they're pushing from, you're going to hop out this window, pre-fire to the left like this, and if any are going down the garage, you're going to shoot them on the slope like this. Your chances of dying are going to increase if you decide to vault and peek the slope, but more risk, more reward. Then for the last spawn peek, you're going to come to the back garage area through servers and electrical room until you get to the emergency exit. Next, you're going to want to prep this to be opened either with a explosive or an orc strike. Then once the round starts, you're going to wait a second or two, and you're going to run out and pre-fire to your right. And this is going to be better than using this window to spawn peek, as this will be way more unexpected for the attackers. Alright, so next I'm going to be showing you spawn peeks on Kafe. Okay, so for the first spawn peek on Kafe, you're going to come to the bottom of white stairs. Then, at the VIP corridor door, you're going to crouch and make a head hole at about the bottom right of this X. Now, all you have to do is aim it around head level to the left of this barren tree. And attackers will rarely have time to react before you kill them. So next, we're going to be making a spawn peek for the river dock spawn. You're going to want to come to this little room and pillar right beneath the cigar balcony. Then we're gonna walk up to this double window and make a small hole at the bottom of the barricade like this. Then all that's left to do is to aim to the left of this stone wall right here, and any attacker spawning docks should walk past it. This next spawn peak I haven't really seen anyone mention before, and it's actually pretty simple to set up. So you're going to need to come to the Christmas room that's next to the cocktail bar site. Then in the corner of this room to the right of this Christmas tree, you're going to want to make a hole in this barricade at around the top middle part of this X. And you also want to try to avoid breaking the glass. Then all I have to do is mount on top of this piano, and you're going to want to aim at the bit of this uncovered path like this. And this is a common spot that attackers will push from Christmas market. And for this last spawn peak, this is going to be a great peak if you're defending kitchen from attackers who are spawning in Christmas market. So right before the round starts, you're going to want to tear off the barricade on the bakery double door. Next, you're going to want to stand about right here so attackers spawning from that side won't be able to see you. And then you're just going to hold above this blue wall right here for any attackers mounting up. Then once you get a kill here or no one peeks here, you're going to want to pre-fire through the car door window just in case any attackers are coming from that direction. So let's say it's the start of the round. I'm going to peek up here real quick. I don't see anyone. Then I'm just going to quickly pre-fire through there to catch any attackers off guard. Next, we're going to go on Kanal. Alright, Pigglers, so for the first spawn peak, we're going to be holding the green hallway from a construction spawn push. So what you're going to do is on the door next to the green stairs, you're going to want to make a hold around crouch head level and around the bottom left part of the X on the barricade. Then you're going to want to aim to the right of the bottom of the stack of sheet metal and wait for attackers who are going to try to rush construction entrance. So this next spawn peak is going to be perfect for defending against attackers who are trying to push into Scuba. So you're going to want to come into the projector room, and then you're going to need to make a hole in the bottom of this window barricade without breaking the glass. Next, you're going to be holding the default angle from this corner right here. But attackers may be pushed up deeper on the Scuba window right here, or the locker room window right here, or even under the bridge around here. But primarily, you're going to be seeing attackers push from this corner right here. Then, at around 15 seconds into the round, any attackers trying to push Scuba should come around this corner. Okay, so this next spawn peak is going to have two different angles that you can peek from to look for attackers spawning at sailboats. Okay, so the first angle we're actually going to be peeking from is going to be on this window and lower bridge. You're going to want to melee a hole in the bottom of this left X. Next, we're going to make a decoy hole at around head level on the reception door barricade. Then the next hole we'll be using to peek through will be on this window barricade that's next to the reception door. You're going to make the hole on the left middle side of the X. So at the start of the round, you're going to want to hold through the reception window for any attackers pushing out from underneath the default cam by sailboats. Then, once you get your kill from here, you're going to rotate to this window right here, and you're going to aim to the left of the steel plate thing right here. I highly advise being on guard when re-peeking this, as attackers will be on the lookout once you get a kill from the reception window. But if they aren't, getting the kill off this window will look something like this. So the last spawn peak on this map is generally only going to be useful if you're defending radar room. Generally, what you're going to do is when your teammates call out that they're about to open the main wall on site, you're going to want to break a hole in the barricade on the right side. Then you're going to aim to the right of this blue fence thing. Then as they're getting a wall, it's likely one of them will be sitting in the corner like this, which you may be able to free kill off of. So next up, we have the map Outback. Okay, so this first peak isn't really a spawn peak, but it's still a very cheeky angle that a lot of people don't check. However, this probably won't work in the higher ranks. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to come to this desk inside office that has an Outback poster next to it. Then you're going to stand on top of the desk and shoot out a little hole right above here, just so that you can see the top of this barricade like this. Then you're going to want to shoot out a small hole right around here on the barricade. Then you'll be able to see people hopping up from the fuel pump spawn. Okay, so for the next spawn peak, you're going to come to the second story of the big garage. Then next to these two vending machines, you're going to come to this window and make a small hole in the bottom and middle of the barricade. Next, you're going to want to line up your crosshair with this little cross symbol in the truck, and then go until you're just a little above the back of the truck. There you should be seeing the attackers pushing from fuel spawn. Now this next spawn peak is a must if you're defending laundry and piano room. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into dorms, and then on the window that's in front of the bunk bed, you're going to make a hole in the lower middle of this X, kind of like this. Then all you need to do is aim through this railing, and attackers pushing the door at the bottom of yellow stairs should walk near your reticle. So this last spawn peak can be very tricky to pull off, but nonetheless, I believe this is the only spawn peak that will be able to see storage yard. So before the round starts, you're going to want to take off the barricade on the window that's in yellow hall. Then you're going to lean to the left. You're going to use your slow walk to line up the angle on the opening to the blue crate. It's right next to the red crate, and it looks a little bit darker than the blue paint. And the window to actually hit the attacker is going to be very small, so I'd only recommend using a high output damage weapon like the AA-12 or the Boss G. Otherwise, you're going to have to learn how to pre-fire this angle, which might look something like this. Alright, so for the next map, we're going to be heading over to Skyscraper. Alright, Pickler, so the first spawn peak on this map is going to be a Runout. So, what you're going to do before the round starts, you're going to want to come to Geisha and then prep the barricade to be vaulted through. Then, at around 5 seconds into the round, you're going to want to vault through this window, run to your right, and aim below this extended roof thingy. Then, at around 7 seconds or earlier into the round, you should see an attacker walking through right here. Alright, next we're going to be peeking the rappel at the top of the ventilation unit spawn. So, what you're going to do, you're going to want to come into the walk-in, then on this window right here, you're going to want to make a hole in the bottom of the barricade without breaking the wood sheath thing on the outside. Then all you have to do is aim between these two metal railings, and attackers rappelling up should walk into your reticle. Alright, so for the next peek, we're going to be peeking the tower spawn, and you're going to want to come to the shrine room. So, at the window to the right of the shrine, you're going to want to prep this barricade to be ran out of. Then, at the start of the round, you're going to want to sit on the east garden camera to look for any attackers walking through the gate. Then, once you confirm that there's attackers pushing through there, all you have to do is vault through this window, look to the right, and aim right down here. For the last spawn peek, we're going to be peeking Heli-Pad again, and you're going to want to come to toilet that's below karaoke room. Then you're going to come to the barricade on toilet window. You're going to want to prep the barricade to be vaulted through. Then at around 6 seconds into the round, you're going to vault through, aim to your left, and pre-fire right in this stairway right here. Alright, so the second to last map I'm going to be showing you all the spawn peaks for is going to be on Theme Park. So for the first spawn peak, you're going to want to come into the control room. Next, before the start of the round, you're going to want to remove the barricade on the window that's next to the computer terminals. Now, this next step's going to require a little bit of parkour, but I think I figured out the perfect lineup. You also will need at least a 2-speed operator in order to make this jump. Alright, so once you're on your 2-speed operator, you're going to want to hop on top of the computer terminals. So you're going to notice a little pipe that's to the right of this window. You're going to want to line yourself where you're almost shoulder to shoulder with the wall. And basically the trick of this is to hold Shift W, then D, right as you get around the pipe. Then all you need to do is aim in this general area for anyone coming from the main entrance spawn. And in lower lobbies, this spawn peak is going to work like a charm, but in the higher ranks, players will probably suspect this peak more often. And unfortunately, I couldn't find any reliable peaks for the teacup spawn, so I'm going to be showing you 2 bumper car spawn peaks next, and then end it off with 1 more main entrance spawn peak. Alright, so for our first teacup spawn peak, you're going to want to come to the top of Dragon Stairs. You're going to want to break a hole right around the middle of the X. Then we're going to look to the right and aim at this entrance in the bumper cars like this. This spawn peak's pretty safe, so now you just need to wait for any potential attackers walking through this doorway. Alright, so for our next bumper car spawn peak, we're going to be peeking from the first floor this time. You're You're going to want to come into the gong room outside of Red Hall, and then you're going to make your way into the teller's room and break a small hole in the bottom of this window barricade. Then, once you have this hole, all you need to do is look a little bit to the right, and now you'll see the left door of the bumper car spawn. Okay, so for our last spawn peek, you're going to come down to the main arcade entrance. Then, at the only window at the far wall of the arcade, you're going to crouch and make a hole at the bottom of this barricade. Next, all you need to do is aim to the left at these blue barrels right here, and some attackers will probably push through this area to get to arcade entrance, or to get to Kafe stairs. Alright guys, so for the last map we'll be taking a look at, we're going to be heading over to Villa. You're going to want to come to Master Bathroom, which is connected to Master Bedroom. Then before the round starts, you're going to want to prep the window in Master Bathroom to be vaulted through. Then between 3 and 4 seconds into the round, you're going to want to vault through the window, head to the right, and then you're going to peek to the lower left of this stone wall right here. Then any attackers spawning found have a chance of walking through this little pathway right here. So the next peek isn't really a spawn peek, but it'll still catch some attackers off guard who push through the main door. You're going to want to look for a corner in main entrance that has a blue potted plant along with a picture of a house on the wall. Then all you need to do is go prone in this corner and look for attackers' feet as they come to push through this barricade. Alright, so for the last spawn peek on Villa, I'm going to be showing you how to devise the master plan to pull this off. In the 90 hallway, you're going to want to come to the main window and prep it to be vaulted through. And you're going to want to try to be fast for this one because then you're going to need to go downstairs and prep the window inside toilet to be vaulted through. Then you need to get back up to 90 hallway before the start of the round. Next, you're going to be on the stable yard cam before the start of the round. You're going to be wanting to look for attackers who are coming from this way or to the right from the main road spawn. Then, once you know where your attackers are pushing from, you're going to vault out this window and pre-fire to the left if they're to the left, or pre-fire to the right if they're to the right. Then you just make your escape back to this window and Thanks for watching, Pickler. I hope this video taught you a lot about spawn peeking on the different ranked maps, and I hope they benefit you in your gameplay. For future videos, I'm going to be taking a more diverse approach to what I make my content about. Mostly about Siege, but you will probably see more essay-style videos on my channel about video game lore / media. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, and I will see the Pickle Army in the next vid. Peace, Picklers.